Hello all. Look at me all dressed up for you and all my jewelry and stuff. Got a lot and I never get to wear it anymore, so I thought, why not? Let's just wear it for you. And I got a spot on my shirt, darn it all. Oh well. Anyways, so my sister and I were out and about today and she said something about a spider mount and how she'd like to learn how to do it. So I went online when I got home, saw a few little videos of it, to get the idea of it, and then of course I'm going to kind of make it my own, do a few things differently. What you're going to need to do is you're going to have one full piece of construction paper, any color that you want your flower to be, some kind of a stem, and I'm going to try to get one out of here. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise you can always make your own stem. All the videos I've seen had a stem that was a little bit firmer than that, which is why I'm going to try that. And then you need a toothpick, and then either your pencil that you usually use to roll, or like I use my knitting needle, and a pair of scissors. Now what they want you to do is they want you to cut 8 circles, all different sizes, from the larger and then down to quite small. I happen to have, they didn't give me any sizes. I didn't find any of them that gave me sizes for these circles. So I happen to have like 4 pattern circles that I use for just about everything. So I used all 4 of those, and then I just started grabbing things that were circular and around me. I used my spool for my largest one, and I used my Mod bottle, and I used the bottle cap of my water and an old ribbon spool, and cut them out. Just make sure that each one is a little bit smaller than the next. Now once you got them all cut out, I pre-cut all mine and pre-did all of mine. I saved one to show you. What they did was they just started cutting slits and then cutting out their little petals. I'm not talented enough to do that. It would be totally uneven and I wouldn't like it. Plus that's a lot more work than what needs to be. So it's a pink day. I got a pink shirt, pink in my necklace. Just noticed that pink flower. Alright, so take your circle and fold it in half. And this is also a good way to make sure your circle is pretty close to itself. You can always trim off, which I had to do on a couple of them. Then fold it in half again. Fold it pretty good, crease it pretty good, until you have a little pie shape. Then, oh, I got a little bit of an edge there. There we go. Starting at the end, I hold the end just barely like by my fingernail to give me a little bit of a guide. And then you're going to cut down, not all the way. You want a space, I'm trying to show you, there we go, so that you can glue the other things on it. And then you're going to literally cut like a triangular space out so that there is a gap between your petals. And you're going to do that all the way around, which I'm going to do real quick because this is the last one I have. And by the way, I got to thinking about it, and I don't know if it is annoying to you guys when I do videos in like part 1s and part 2s. So if you could leave a comment below, I think I might be cutting my head off on these videos a little bit. If you can leave a comment below and let me know, is it okay to do it that way? Is it more confusing? Just give me a heads up. And then that way I can decide what to do about it. Because I want to make it enjoyable for you to watch my videos, so you will come back for more. And also, for those that knew me and knew my mom, I've been told recently that in these videos I look a lot like her. Or make at least make like facial expressions that she made. Which, you know, I think is kind of cool now. Alright, so you got it all the way across. Now what you want to do, now on some of the videos they made points on all their petals, which I did on one, but it really didn't make that much of a difference, so I didn't do that stuff. And I kind of liked it without it. Alright, so open it up one time, completely flat, and then you'll notice in the middle you have one that's not cut because that's where your fold was. So just cut a space in between that one, just like you did for everything else. Open it up again, and this time you should have 2 of those spaces again where your fold was. So again, just cut a little triangular shape out of each side. Helps if you're not shaking. Alright, there we go. And then there you have your flower base petal. So now what you need to do is you need to curl it. Curl your petals. I usually put them on 2 to 3 at a time, and I use both thumbs and roll it down. Move on to the next ones, and because you don't want it like totally even. Again, you wouldn't find that in nature. You're not gonna find it in my crafting world. I like the little bit of difference that it gives. And this is a pretty quick process. Now I did find that on the smaller ones, my needle was way too big, and that is where the toothpick came in. You're going to want to use a toothpick for at least the 3, maybe 4 smallest ones, I think is what I ended up doing. Just going to make your life a lot easier, and it's going to make the petals look a lot better. It's a little bit tighter of a roll. Alright, last 2. Now what they did, oh, also I forgot to tell you, you're going to need, I think I had one cut out and I think I threw it away. You're going to need a strip, a very small strip, which since I can't find it, I'll cut another one out for you. And that is going to end up being the bud in the middle of the flower. I got my paper cutter on my lap. That's why I'm looking down right now. Alright, that's going to be close enough. Doesn't have to be. Okay, I love my paper cutter. If you ever want to invest in the crafting thing, get yourself a handy dandy small paper cutter. My sister loves me and gave me hers, and she's never getting it back. Okay, so I didn't cut it straight. But you want it to be about that size. Now this is the pain in the butt part. What you do is you fold it in half lengthwise all the way down, which when it's such a small paper, it's kind of hard to do that. It likes to crinkle or bite you and stuff like that. And actually it's kind of good that it did become bigger, because I'm going to show you what to do on the bigger side just so it's easier for you to see. Now what I did, what they did is they just left it like this and cut across. That's a lot of work. So what I did was I folded it, and then I cut across. You could even fold it, if you can get a good enough fold, you could even fold it one more time. Remembering that when you do this, once you open it, you're going, wherever your fold was, you're going to have to go back and clip it again. So anyway, so that you can see this, they made really tiny, close together strips. I don't even know if it's so tiny, I don't even know if I can show you how tiny they are. Maybe behind my scissor, if I can get it in there. Okay, so once you do it all the way across, and then you just fold it into it itself. Remembering this is not the right one, and you just roll it. It's hard to show you when it's so tiny. Just rolling it down. Now, I already did one, and it looks like this. Now mine, it was so small that it tore in a couple places. I just glued it as I rolled it. Still used it. So that's your bud. Now we get to assemble the flower. So you take your biggest one. I would lay them out in order to make sure you get the right order. If you're anything like me, you might not. You might grab the wrong one. Ooh, that's the itty bittiest one. Look how tiny that thing is. Okay, there are 8 of these, remember. Okay, so take your biggest one. Put just a dab, not too much, of glue in the center. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you need glue. I just put a little dab on a piece of cardboard, and then I use my finger. That way I'm not picking up my big old bottle, and I just use my clear glue and messing with all that. So anyways, a little dab. Take your next one, and kind of don't let the petals like exactly line up. You want to stagger them just a little bit, but try to keep it centered. Hold it for a few seconds. Put a little bit of glue on the next one. Again, try to stagger it and center it. I might not have enough. Nope, it was. Then keep going. Ooh, I'm liking this. And keep it going. Trying to remember to hold this up. I have the camera up a little bit higher than I normally do because I have it charging, and I keep forgetting that. I'm putting it way down here and y'all can't see what I'm doing. And that's not very helpful. Alright. Now I have to add a little bit of glue to my cardboard. It dried up on me a little bit. And you can see my little triangles that I was cutting out flew everywhere. I got in my glue. I'm not working around it. Okay. A little dab. Oh, you dried up on me. Of course, because I'm in the middle of a video, it doesn't want to cooperate. Heaven forbid. This particular glue, I'm messy, so it kind of gets a seal over the top of it if I wait too long to use it. So then I gotta peel it off. And that usually does the trick. Okay, I'm really liking this one. Alright, a little bit of glue. And the smaller your petals, you gotta, make sure you're careful. A little bit of glue. Alright. So now, it should look like that. I like it. And you can just, mess around with your petals while your glue is drying. Now, in the center, more glue. Take your bud and stick it in there right in the center. And that one, you probably have to hold just a little bit longer than like the other petals. You could even change the color of the bud. She used all regular glue, but I'm going to give it one more shot by adding a little extra glue, and then if it doesn't work, I'm getting out that glue, which means I should plug it in. Of course, I have it right here. There it is. If I can find the... Oh, that doesn't want to share. Hold on. Aha! I got it. Okay. Oh, whatever. Okay, so this bud might fall out on me. Then take your toothpick. Aha! It was blending in. And kind of use it to lift up the petals on the very tiny ones. Or if you got fingernails, you can use those. Just something to get in there. My fingernails keep breaking off, so I don't have any. I do need to take the polish off, but, eventually. It's not a top priority project. There. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't think it's quite as wild looking as what she was thinking. It almost looks more like a regular mum. So I'm thinking that in order to get the effect that she was talking about, because she was like that wild out there, A, I would have had to start with a bigger circle, and B, make my cuts for each of the petals closer together so the petals were smaller. But I really like this one. Now we have to try to figure out the stem. That's pretty good sized. So I want a pretty good length. So this one has a whole bunch together like a bouquet. Well, it was a bouquet when I got it. I've used all the flowers on other things. So I'm just kind of separating it a little bit to see. Oh, yeah, that stem will be long enough. But I want this piece. Okay. So we're going to cut this. I have wire cutters somewhere in one of my little containers. I think they're over there, which will probably be easier. But if you don't have those, use a big pair of scissors and get it started, and then kind of rock it back and forth, because then you'll get through the plastic like that. And then close it down as much as you can and bring it up towards you. And it usually will cut off pretty darn easy. Because my hands are weak, so, guess we don't need the sticker, do we? Another one of my Dollar Tree finds, by the way. Love that store. Any dollar store. And I'm not talking like Dollar General, although I do love Dollar General. Go there all the time. I'm talking more along the lines of where everything is literally $1. Okay, so now online they bent the tip. I'm not really sure if that's how it is in nature. Why not? If that's what they're doing. So I got some needle nose pliers because it's wire. I'm just going to bend it as much as they did. They bent it that much. Give or take. And I stole the little thing that they use to stick the flowers on, because I'm going to hot glue that. Otherwise, piece of cardboard, anything that has kind of like a flat surface to go on the back of this. So that's going to go there. My gun should be hot enough by now. Oh, it is. It is. Stop. I don't want that one. Okay. So, you always get these little cobwebs. A quick yank. Usually will take them off because they are not fun to work with afterwards. Center. Push it in. Give it a few seconds to dry and hold. Voila. And let me tell you something else. I need to go to the dollar store and get a ton of these. The sunflowers, any of the flatter flowers, I can't think of the name of it, and it's my carnations, my favorite flower. All of those, attaching it like this is so much easier. It's the first time I've attached it like this. Plus, look, I already have my leaves, and they're like the perfect size and everything. So, go to the dollar store, next time you go, grab a ton of these. Even if the flowers are attached, it doesn't matter, because you can take the flowers off and use it on another project. Okay, that's it. And until the next time, enjoy